Enter the lab. Elvis Escobar. I am smoked. Just drove 10 hours from a great weekend, which you need to tune in to know more about. But on this episode, we do a super freestyle of every topic that we have in mind. Super loose. I love this episode. One of my favorites. Before we get into episode 50, which will be amazing. But before that, Fort Tama, what do you got for us?
Hey, as you already know, lock into this episode so you can see everything that we did. Episode unofficially brought to you by BR Boys, Billionaires Row. We're at Total Wine. We're at the Hard Rock. We're at Tootsie's. But wait, we got more. We got more. Yo, boys at the Fountain Blue now. Boys making moves. Fountain Blue.
That's come French. On, Fountain Bleu.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Holla at your boy, dog. Come on.
You have now entered the lab, episode 49, Elvis Escobar, Fort Tama. Hey, Fort Tama, I heard you were in Florida this weekend. Not South Florida, Northwest Florida for a wedding, apparently.
Yeah.
I happen to be there. I happen to be at a wedding as well.
No, not at a wedding.
Oh.
Not at a wedding. You were in a wedding.
I was in it, so I was a groom.
No, not just in the wedding.
In a wedding.
It was my guy's wedding.
Oh, it's my wedding.
Oh, you already forgot? Oh shit!
You're right. It was. Shout out.
Congrats. Shout out. Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you,
shout
all the listeners. Shout out for the bottle. Well, man, we went. We got at least 10 bottles of tequila. I don't know how you got your hands on 3 of them.
I got a third of them, baby. We out here.
Yeah, but great weekend. Shout out Bray Day. Shout out Bree. Looked amazing. Shout out everybody that came through. Man, that was a weekend house party / wedding at an Airbnb, just on the beach, is everything. Give your feedback about it. Obviously, we could talk about it a little bit. You know what I mean? Even though on this podcast I try to be a little private, a little whatever, but we'll be honest with each other. Go ahead.
So I left Georgia at 1, and I pulled up there around 6 that time because it was
back an hour
back. Yeah, back an hour. So
west of Tallahassee, that's when you get that hour back.
Yeah. And then I pull up, bro, and I'm in a hoodie and my short gym shorts and shit, and everyone's dripped out. I'm yo, I must have missed the memo. I could put my jeans on and my SBs and a nice t-shirt, but I just cooled it that night. Just got pretty lit. Thought I was gonna, hit arms the next day, but that didn't happen.
Did you have a gym at your hotel?
Honestly, I don't even know. I didn't check.
So
I'm sure there was
that route.
a little.
All right, bet.
Yeah. It wasn't gonna happen after the drinks. I was pouring heavy.
For real, as you should.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was just like you said, it was a fucking just a house party at your crib, but exponented to the 10th power.
Yep, it was, and that's kind of the vibe we were going for. We were going for a anybody that's listening or watching. If you've been to our crib and experienced any type of Friday, Saturday night party, it was that to the 10th power, and that's exactly what we wanted. Family, friends, I'm so grateful. I'm so appreciative of everybody that came and got to experience that. And dude, it was it was a moment. There was a lot of moments.
I was glad I finally got to meet your family. Got to meet your nephews. Me and your boy Lucas was going at it during fight night. Boy, the whole weekend he's I want the smoke. I'm all right,
dude.
Dog.
He's a tough motherfucker. He is.
Yeah, he is.
You could definitely challenge him a little bit. He's a little rascal for real. But I'm glad you were able to, because it's good to. I wanted to. Obviously, I introduced you to my family, but I wanted you to get into. I don't know. Did you talk any Cuban heritage shit?
Not too much. No, we
Not
didn't
too
really get
much.
get. No, no, no.
Next time,
I had a nice moment with your pops. We had a nice moment. You know, your
everybody had
mom's super.
moments with him.
Yeah, super nice lady. Your brother, fucking awesome, man. Your sister, same thing.
Yep.
Just overall vibes, man. I had a blast. Thank you.
Yeah. It was,
Thank you for
yeah.
inviting me, man.
Thank you for being in my life, brother.
Of course.
Let's
Forever. We're
let's
linked now.
let's
We're
have a
linked
moment.
now.
You're like Mo said in his speech. You're stuck with me. You're stuck with us. Vice
Yep.
versa. No, that was a great weekend. Obviously, I didn't promote it on this podcast on the last episode because that's not what I'm about. I didn't know if we would talk about it much, but I'm glad we did, and extremely grateful. Sometimes I definitely needed that in my life at the moment, just to see and show and feel all that emotion. And I get it. I get why people, after a wedding or after something like that, they're changed forever. So I'm forever changed.
Yeah, that's what you told me. You came up to me and you were like, "Dude, anything that you can imagine how it is or what you think it's gonna be, it's not. Like it's."
Yeah.
You were like, "I can't really even describe it right now." So I
Right.
was like, "Hell yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It was yeah, right? Like you go to it and you're like, nah, all these people say these same things and they sound generic. But then when you go through it and you're taking a shower at 1 p.m. and you're like, nah, I'm fine, I'm cool. And you're like sweating in the shower. And you're like, why the fuck am I, why am I having anxiety in the shower? But it's only because you're with the people that mean the most and you want it to count not only for yourself, but for everybody else. So like I said, anybody that's listening to this or watching it that came, appreciate y'all. But I drove from there. We left over there. Obviously, an hour time difference. We got breakfast, left at 8:50. But by the time we got on the highway, it was really 9:30. Let's call it. I didn't walk into my right now as we record this a day later. We're recording on Tuesday night. I walked into my house at 7:30 p.m. We're recording this right now at 9:30 p.m. So I got
yeah."
2 hours to like unpack the car a little bit halfway, get a little buzz on because it was a long 10 hours. But yeah, 10-hour drive. I'm smoked. I'm tired, but like I mentioned in the past, the
And
show
what
must
sucks
go
most,
on.
yeah, and what sucks most of it is like the first like 2 hours of the drive is just one lane highway
Or two
each way.
lanes.
Yeah, but
Yeah, a
like
lot of it. Well, it
you
depends
know,
on where you go. You're right
so
though.
yeah, that's true. Because most of my trip was like one lane, and I was like, "Fuck!" I kept like waiting until there was like no cars coming the other way, so I could pass and go around and
Mm-hmm.
shit. Like, because I was trying to make time. I was like, I'm not trying to get to Georgia at like 1:30 in the morning. Like, I made it just before midnight. I left the Airbnb a little bit after the Dolphins game. I stayed for overtime of Minnesota and Buffalo, which was fucking. I couldn't leave for that game. I had to stay and finish watching that.
Yeah, that was
So
a great.
right after,
I'm glad at least one game went kind of like got exciting because we had like 50 people there just for bullshit, and that
yeah,
game was the shit was the best game of the day.
yeah. So I left after that, and I made pretty good time. I filled up right, when I left there. So I made pretty decent time. It's not that terrible of a drive. There's just
Nah,
not shit to see.
yeah, it's not a aesthetic at all. Today was what including an hour, and then if you add up another hour worth of stops, we stopped 3 or 4 times. It turned into 10 hours from 9:30 to 7:30. So, yeah, great weekend, Bray Day, like I said, great wedding, great people, great family, and I will say it on this podcast for the record, episode 49. I think I'm a changed man.
Oh shit!
I
I
think
love
I
to hear
am.
that though.
I think I am. Like 20-year-old Ray, 20 something year old, even 29-year-old Ray.
All right, so
Elvis. Young Elvis wouldn't have said that. Now I'm like, I'm confident in that. I'm
all
like,
right,
nah, I want to change. I want to develop.
so
I want to evolve.
so I'm coming up on year 29 here in the next
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks. How do you mean? What do you mean by that? Like, in what kind of way? How do you feel changed?
It's funny because it's like whenever somebody says, "Oh, I changed. I went through something," it's like when you hear it, it seems forced, but when you go through it, I was telling Bree in the car on the way here because I had a lot of time to think by myself and then have great conversations with her. But when people have a kid, literally, when that kid is born, whether you like it or not, you're changed, right?
Yeah,
Like whether you like it or not, you're a different human being. And I would say the same thing that I didn't expect is when you get married and you enter in that type of relationship, I didn't think anything would change. So people are like, "Are you excited? Do you feel different?" X, Y, and Z that night. And I didn't because, we're hammered. We're fucking have a great time. Lit fucking party. And then the next day you wake up and you're like, damn, I think I am changed. I think I feel some type of responsibility. I feel more mature. I'm 33 years old. It forces you to grow up in a way. So that's what I would say to that is you're almost forced to grow up. Just like if you have a kid, just like if you marry young. It's like, all right, you can't be a fucking slapdick anymore. You got to be a fucking man. And I could only speak for us, me and you as men can speak for
right.
the women's side or the girls' side. It's like, as men, it's like, all right, now you have a responsibility to be even more. If you thought you were the
Yeah,
man, now you're even
it's
more so. Like, stop acting like a bitch if you were a
yeah,
bitch, because that's subjective. But everybody knows when you're acting like a bitch. Like, let's be for real.
it's a legit commitment now. Like, it's not like y'all boyfriend and girlfriend or just
Yep.
engaged. Like, now it's for real. It's game time. Like,
For real. And then next step is kids and family and all that. And it's you can't as we watch sports, as we talk about sports, it's like you can't be a professional or think you're gonna snap into a professional the day you get drafted. You have to build yourself up into that professional. You know what I mean? Like everything. Like, you want that job or that profession or that what you seek to be, you can't expect to turn that on and off real quick. You got to build yourself up to that. So I would relate it to that. But enough about me. This podcast will be a very short podcast, hopefully, but an expedited one for y'all. I definitely sucked up a lot of being tired and mental. I wasn't sure. It was like 6:00 p.m. and I was driving here and I was in like West Palm Beach and I was cooked and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna even get to this podcast. But that's why I have the best tag team partner in the game, you Fort Sama. So
I'm out here, baby. I'm
carry me
here.
through this
I'm
carry me
here.
through this podcast and let's talk about what you want to talk about this
Yeah.
episode. Come on,
Hey. Oh shit. All right. All right.
let's get
Put me
it.
on the hot seat. Put me on the hot seat. Unlike Mike McDaniel, unlike Tua Tagovailoa, unlike my Dolphins 7-3, but that's not even what I want to get into because we're 7-3. We're 7-3, baby. Last time we
Big.
were 7-3 was 2001. We've had 24 different
Sheesh.
starting quarterbacks. We've had
That's a
7 stadium
lot.
name changes. All right. I was sending Vito mad tweets through text message after the game. But nah, man. What I really want to talk about is, as some of you may know, I tend to dabble in crypto and in the NFT space and all this kind of shit. And if you're live on Twitter, like, or just listening to the news, you've seen this whole FTX shit going on. It's FTX is an exchange where you can buy and sell crypto, and they had an NFT marketplace on there as well, and it got pretty big. And I mean, it got big enough that the Miami Heat sold their arena naming rights to FTX. It was FTX Arena, and a lot of fucking athletes were taking payments in Bitcoin and taking their signing bonuses and all this kind of stuff as crypto payments and FTX and shit. And this shit just went bankrupt. Like $50 billion just poof, gone. Like it got so bad where they stopped withdrawals. You couldn't take your money out. You couldn't do anything with it. And now the CEO or the founder or whatever, he's hiding out in Argentina somewhere. He was in the Bahamas. He listed his house for sale. Yeah, they're trying to bring him
Yikes.
back, but I don't know if they're going to. I mean, they can't really like I don't know what they're gonna find him guilty of, but I mean, I saw some stuff that this is as of right now, this is all allegations, and it's gonna you know break down in the next few months and maybe even years because I mean, this is stuff that's gonna affect everyone because there was some stuff that FTX was the second largest donor to the Democratic Party behind the one and only George Soros. So that money, that $50 billion or whatever, that money was being sent over to Ukraine and then came back and washed and whatever as far as back to our president and our government and all that kind of shit. And it sucks because when you make an exchange, when you make something, you make it available to everyone, and crypto is supposed to be sort of like this hedge to be against recession and against like the dollar and all that kind of stuff, and just kind of keep your money clean and keep your money moving, and just kind of like as a backup, because it's not centralized, it's decentralized. And over the past few years it really hasn't been that kind of way. And I mean, there's a lot of scary stuff going on right now, and just the most I could kind of tell people, if you're going to invest in crypto and you're going to buy crypto, one, always do your own research. Don't listen to what people tell you. Like, it doesn't matter who you're getting it from. That person can know someone that coded whatever, because anyone can make a coin, bro. Anyone can make a coin. Anyone can make a project. Anyone can do this kind of stuff. And if it gets enough money blowing in, it can get to 5 6 cents, and then they could just liquidate it all, and however much you put in it is gone. It goes down to zero, and you're fucked. So, I mean, just put your money in the safe shit like Bitcoin, Ethereum, you know, shit that is backed up and is actually used, and don't have it on an exchange. Don't crypto.com is going down. BlockFi fucking announced that they're filing for bankruptcy. Like all this shit sucks right now. Like if you're gonna buy crypto, buy a fucking ledger, which is a little fucking USB stick. I have mine somewhere right now. I just found it, and buy that shit off of there and leave it in there. And just, you have your fucking keys, which is your fucking 24 words or 12 words, whatever it makes you do, and keep that shit safe somewhere and don't tell anyone about it, because not just all this shit's getting scary right now. Just not just crypto, the market is bad. Like,
The market has been a little better. I checked my
yeah,
portfolio over the last few days, and it's the highest. My portfolio is pretty diverse, of 8 to 10 different stocks, and it's up since September. So that shows good. So literally, whatever it's at now hasn't been as good since September. So it goes back 2 months. So hopefully,
yeah. I,
up
I
and
don't
up.
want to be a fear monger or
Mm-hmm. Of
still fear anyone or anything, but
course.
this shit's about to get bad, bro. Recession's coming, and like all the signs are there. The housing market is down from where it was. Interest rates are up. Fucking all these big companies are laying off employees.
Yeah.
It's worse than it was in 2008. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know exactly what happened in 2008, because I was 15 years old in 2008, 15,
Yeah.
16 years old in 2008. And I didn't understand economics or finances, or I wasn't in tune to that kind of shit as I am now, because I have my money invested
Of
in the
course.
market and my money invested in certain things. Amazon laying off employees, Facebook, well, Meta now laid off employees. Twitter is in shambles because Elon Musk is doing whatever the fuck he wants, which in a kind of
He's
way is
trying to make
funny.
more
Like,
profit. He's trying to make more
yeah,
profit and do something different. He didn't buy that thing for 40 billion just to make it
to be a
kind of
hobby.
break even. You know what I mean? For a
Yeah,
hobby. He bought it to make it more profitable. So all these people complain about $8 if to get a verified check. Dog, you make at least 6 figures when you get a verified check. It's nothing to you. You're just complaining just to complain. But go ahead. I like how
Yeah.
you going off right now. I like that.
No, because I've been listening to a lot of Ben Baller
Good.
lately. I, and like I was listening to his podcast, and I mean, he just has a lot of knowledge because he's been through a lot of shit in life, and he's done a lot of different things. And he always kept mentioning like his super follower shit. And I've never been the person where I'm like, damn, I don't want to pay money to see someone's extra tweets or see whatever kind of shit. But he's like, yo, it's $3, the kind of
That's
game
where
I
we're going
give.
to.
Yeah, and like just the kind of giveaways that I'll have on there, like it'll fucking like be worth the $36 that you're gonna pay in the year. And like he had a he'll have like Twitter Spaces. It's like Clubhouse, if you know what Clubhouse is. He has people that get on there and they can just talk, and it's for his super followers only. And I mean, just seeing what other people say and what he has to say, he gives people advice, like just business advice and family advice and all that kind of shit. I mean, it's worth the $3 for me
Mm-hmm.
monthly. I mean, I spend $3 on coffee or $3 on
Yep.
whatever kind of bullshit.
Right?
A protein shake or protein, bro. A protein shake is like $5 now. I went to the gas station the other day and I didn't even buy it. They had Uncrustables for $5.49. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is
Isn't
this?
that
This is
crazy when you
nuts.
break down your life and you look at it from either a daily, weekly, or monthly? You go, $3.99. What the fuck per month? And it's like, first of all, if you really broke it down, you're going to use it every day, if maybe. But also, if you break down your daily life, you could easily spend $8 to $12 at Dunkin' Donuts every single day, and you don't need to. You
Yeah.
could easily make coffee at home. You could easily make toast and bread and whatever, or toast
You
and
can have
butter
your
and
own
whatever it is.
avocados. Yep.
But you choose to do that. So
Because it's
it's
convenient.
crazy.
But
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
no, I'm just saying, like, I when I lived in Jacksonville, I did a budget. Like I made my own budget just to see where all
Of
my money
course.
was going. And I would every month I would print out my fucking bank statements, and I would like highlight the shit that I was like, yo, this is not a necessity. This is just like something that I'm just trying to give myself that I don't really
Yep.
need. And I got away from that just, once I moved here to Georgia because I was just busy doing other shit and trying to figure other things out. And I'm gonna get back to that because, bro, I need to know where every fucking dollar is going now. Because
For real.
not because like, oh, I'm not getting money, or not because I'm struggling or anything like that, but just because I'm about to be 30 now next year,
Yep.
and I gotta really like put my money in the right places and
Yep.
you know figure shit out because it's gonna get bad, bro. Like,
And like you mentioned to me while I was traveling today, we will have one or two guests on this podcast over the next several weeks as we approach 50 and we celebrate and stuff like that. Where we will talk, where this, economics. Maybe people know more about where this, where things in the market are going more than us, or they'll add to it. We have a
yeah,
couple guests in mind that we should get on, just to add to it, right?
yeah, we can even bring on a real estate broker or whatnot. We'll talk about it
We
off
know a
air, and
lot of them too.
yeah, and we'll see what they got going on and how
That's
much time
smart,
they got, and
actually. Let
and
me write
whatnot.
that down.
Yep. One of my good friends, she's a real estate broker. She very
Yep.
successful at that, and that's not the only thing she does. She got a lot of other businesses. So it's not just someone that we're finding out on the street and being like, hey, you want to hop on the pod? Nah, we
No.
got mutual connections. We network out here.
Yeah,
Like, who does this?
yeah. It's we want to, when we have people on, it's not okay. Yeah, we want people to have that networking ability of like, all right, somebody that reaches out and never listened to us, but also we're not going to do it and sell ourselves out just to have somebody out that we don't connect with. I mean, we got to have some type of connection. So I like that. Yeah, real estate. I know a lot. You know a lot, and it'd be great to have somebody on for 15, 20 minutes just talk about
Yeah.
it because like you said, you're about to turn 30. I'm 33. I have multiple properties and I'm trying to sell and move, and I had great conversations with my business associates over this past weekend. We're doing different things, and hey, make moves. So it's always good. But
I also want to get an OnlyFans chick on here, so
we should. Let
if
me write that down actually too,
if
because
y'all do,
hold
if
on,
any of y'all listen and y'all do OnlyFans, holla at your boy, because
hold on.
you
Let me
know I'm
write that down
curious
too.
about how the industry works. You know,
Writing it down. You can't see it obviously because I'm in my I'm in the Elvis and Fort shared notes,
I
but
love that,
I just
bro.
wrote that
Like,
down.
I love that feature that you can have shared notes with
Oh
people.
yeah,
Like,
for sure.
that's one of the coolest Apple features.
Hell yeah. They're so. Oh, by the way, I have breaking news to announce, and if you're listening to this, obviously right now you know about it. But before I get to that little teaser, there's a new. I just downloaded the new iOS. I just
16.
downloaded it, and bro, when you get a picture, you could screen grab or hold that photo and take just the people out of it and copy and paste it. So meaning if you have a
Oh
group
yeah,
photo, bruh,
yeah. I
I've
haven't
already
updated
used
to iOS 16 yet.
I've already used that a couple times, and for editing purposes, it will come out clutch. I will
Yeah.
have a lot of fun doing that, but not to waste any more time on that because we're trying to be efficient.
No, I'm scared to update my
Breaking
phone
news.
because,
You ready?
of course.
2024 presidential run.
Oh, let's go, baby.
Donald John Trump.
We back. We fucking bike.
We
Hey,
won't
look,
spend
man.
up. We won't spend too much on it, but I just wanted to be live and in the lab. Go ahead.
All I know is that.
I'm gonna take a shot for chaos. I'm gonna take a shot for chaos. Hey,
Cheers. This wasn't.
cheers, bro. Hey,
Cheers. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
shot for chaos. I'm not saying I support it. I'm just saying shit's about to get interesting.
Look, all I have to say about it is I posted a story on Instagram today
Mm.
about Biden asking for $37 billion for Ukraine. And I don't even know how much we've sent them already.
By the
And
way, did you see fucking Poland and Russia?
yeah.
Possible World War III?
Russia is saying that it wasn't them. Ukraine is saying
Allegedly.
that they blew it up because it was meant to go to
Allegedly.
Ukraine and pieces went
Allegedly.
to,
Oh,
kill two
pieces?
people.
Oh, pieces?
Yeah, debris.
Oh,
Debris.
debris.
Exactly. Hey, and also, by the way, if we go to war, whoever's getting drafted, we're fucked, bro.
Bro, bro, I just watched All Quiet on the Western Front. There's young kids fighting in these wars that have no idea. They think they're being a superhero. It's not fun.
The younger generation of our country is not built like them Europeans and them Russians and them Chinese and whatever. Like we're fucked. But I posted it on my Instagram today. Well, I reposted Biden asking for $37 billion for Ukraine and another $9 billion for COVID-19. This is ridiculous, bro. Why are we still sending money to a foreign country? I've talked about this already. We need to get our own country in check first. We
Yep.
need to fight inflation, bro. Like, there's families out here that are fighting. They're living paycheck to paycheck because they can't afford groceries. They can't afford gas. They can't afford to pay their utilities. They can't afford rent. No one's going to be able to buy cribs because of how the interest rates are. Like, it's all fucked.
I got an
But we're
update
still worried
here.
about all this
Not to
other
cut
shit.
you off. Biden says unlikely, quote unquote, missile in Poland was fired from Russia. We'll see about that. But
Yeah.
it's important. We're not talking government. We're not talking politics. We're talking real life stuff. Things that it affects all of us, meaning,
I just hope that
nobody thought World War I or II was going to happen until it happened. So we'll see about that. Hopefully it doesn't. But
yeah, I just hope that the last 2 years have really opened eyes to some people that thought the grass was going to be greener and were worried about what someone was posting on social media and what they were saying instead of how focused they were on making sure America was great, which in one way, like, it was fucking not the greatest way he handled it, but we didn't have inflation at almost 10%. Gas wasn't $5, which has gotten better, but
Yeah, no, it's about
we worry about gas. Like everyone's so worried
yeah.
about gas when that's like one of the
In
least
Panama
expensive
City, it was
issues.
like $3.50,
Yeah,
which it should be lower, but whatever.
Yeah. So shout out Georgia. That shit's $3, $2.89 in some places. So I can't complain.
Let's give let's not break down, because I want it to be a quick episode. Obviously, I drove like 1 billion hours today. You traveled the other day, and we're both smoked. But just give the main event recap of UFC. What was it? 281. Let me get some feedback, because let me paint the picture, and then everybody.
You must have told me to calm down and keep it down like 17
You and my brother.
Yes, bro. That's my guy. In like a 2-minute span. You were following me around the Airbnb.
Yeah, my brother's on a level 12 out of 10, and you're at a 10 out of 10. My brother loves UFC. He loves fighting. He loves all of it. He was a fan of it before it I'm not trying to say it was before it was popular, but like
he was
early 2000
based off what he was saying.
Oh, he knows his shit, dog. We might have to do a Fort Escobar brothers fucking episode on some shit. So anyway, he knows his stuff, and he was so hype, and I'm glad I'm glad I was a part of that experience, because that's something that a part of this weekend I wanted to see, and I'm glad you guys were able to watch that. But he was hype. We watched it in the living room on the wedding night. Everybody was out.
The stream went down.
The stream went down right before the main event, and I should have pulled the trigger sooner. But guess what? I pulled the trigger after the first
just in time
round, and we were able to watch round 2, 3, 4, and 5. So give us a quick breakdown about that.
Man, Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier fight was a banger. Everything we expected was going to happen happened. Shout out Dan Hooker, by the way. He won, all that good stuff. Also, everyone knew Wei Lee was going to be Esparza. She did. Nasty. Shout out Erin Blanchfield. Nasty armbar. She got fucking Molly McCann shit way back like this. Erin Blanchfield, I want you on the pod. Holla at your boy. And then main event, fucking Adesanya Pereira. This guy is Stylebender's kryptonite, bro, because he's beat him twice in kickboxing. He knocked him out one time. And then, I mean, for the first 4.5 rounds, Adesanya had to fight. Like, he looked really, really fucking good. Like, one of the best times I've seen him. He was mad technical. He was fighting forward. He was hitting. He was catching Pereira. He was taking him down. Like, he should have just wrestled him, because Pereira doesn't have the wrestling. Like, this guy just has left hook and follow up with whatever after. Like, not saying that that's not bad, because he's obviously the champ now, but he caught Izzy with a clean right, and then followed up with the left, and Izzy was dazed, and he wobbled and fell. And I mean, I don't think it was an early stoppage at all. It just sucks because it was a championship fight in the 5th round. I mean, Mark Goddard is one of the best refs in the business. I'm not going to sit here and argue that he doesn't know what he's doing. Izzy even said, hey, I wish you would have gave me some more time. He said when he was looking down, he was looking at his feet, he was looking at his legs, so he knows where he's at and whatever. But, hey, if you fall down and then you're against the cage and you're not throwing anything back and you're already kind of wobbly, like, it's about that time, bro. Like, because you're not fighting Kevin Gastelum, which that was the fight that was brought up, saying that he gave Gastelum all the time in the world. You're fighting against some dude that's your same size, 6'4", and it's got nasty punches. So that could have ended really bad, and it could have been a lot worse, and that's not what you want. You'd rather stop that shit early and limit fucking damage than it get too late, and now you got fucking CTE and shit later on, which, I mean, they probably will have, but that's besides the point.
But yeah, when I seen him, it was the way I looked at it is like people would be like, "Oh, he was still standing." Dog, you get knocked out standing too. And Adesanya's, as far as I've been watching him for at least the last 5 to 8 fights, I'm not sure exactly how I could put years on it or months on it. He's never been bodied that way, and that was a good call because the next step was him falling, and the next step after that was him getting punched in the face for no reason. So that was a good. If it was early, it was a good early call. If I thought it was a just right call, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
I thought it was just right. I don't think it was early. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's just you don't want shit to get worse.
Yeah,
That's it. And
same,
like you're
buddy.
fighting again. Yeah, like all the champs are going down, bro. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna say I
Isn't that
knew he was
crazy?
gonna.
All within the
Yeah,
last 6 months, you got three
yeah,
major champions that held on to it for
yeah.
more than 10 fights.
Nunes lost her belt, got it back. Of
Of
course,
course,
Oliveira just lost his belt. Um, Usman lost his belt. Glover lost his belt. He's about to try and get it back in the next few weeks.
that's all
Um,
within 6 months or
yeah,
so, or eight
yeah.
months
So
maybe.
I
That's
mean,
crazy. That's good for the sport, though.
oh,
Great for the
it's
sport.
fucking amazing because the
Let's
parity
go.
in the UFC is
Uh
fucking
huh.
amazing. Like it's great, and like you can't ask for anything better. And there's so many young fighters, so many people up and coming. And I mean, we talk about this shit every week how great it is. So I think I think honestly, like Pereira isn't that great of an MMA fighter because he just
Okay.
stands there and fights. And I mean, I don't practice MMA or do any of that kind of stuff, but I've been watching it for a while, so I have some kind of knowledge about it. And it's what I look at every day when I'm at work not doing much. I throw on old fights. I'm looking at shit on Twitter, and this is what I see. Like I feel like honestly, he just went to the UFC to try and take Adesanya's belt, and I don't know
Yep.
how much longer he's going to fight because for what?
For why?
To get paid? Sure. Like, okay, cool. He's gonna fight Izzy again, and if he beats Izzy again, then he's done, bro. Like, there's no need to keep going.
Yep.
There's no need to keep going.
Let's get into appreciate that recap, that review. Great to experience it with you, and appreciate you bringing your PlayStation 4 to the crib.
Yep,
We
had
uh,
the
we were
stream
creating
going.
we were creating labs all weekend. You
Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean? But let's get into some rapid fire stuff. So I'll name things and we'll talk about it, and then we'll wrap it up. Um, real quick, Yankees resign Adam Rizzo, which is big multi-year deal. If they want to resign Aaron Judge, that's a big deal. OBJ, he narrowed his search down to 4 or 5 teams. He wants to resign this
He was
month
at the
at
Heat
the.
game the other night.
There you go. He's everywhere. He's
Yeah,
being.
yeah.
Let's be honest. He's being a free agent whore, as he should
As
be.
he should, of
Um.
course.
So a decision in the next week or two will be finalized. We'll see about that. Let's see what we got here. Cooper Cup out IR, ankle injury that affects a lot of people's fantasy teams. The teams that were doing well with him are now, hey, next 4 weeks, anybody's game. In fantasy, the fact that they added another week or two, and depending on your structure of your league, you always got a shot. Back in the day, it used to be first 5 weeks. If you're irrelevant 6 weeks, you're not going to come back. Now there's a longer season.
I made some moves today. I made a lot
I
of moves
seen that.
today, baby.
Talk to him.
So
Say it real quick.
let's see real quick. Cause hey,
I was
like
driving, so I wasn't able to see it.
and one of the moves I made a few weeks ago was I traded Cooper Cup and Devin Singletary for Jamar Chase and Miles Sanders, and then like the next day, fucking Chase goes out. So
Mm.
let's see. I traded Terry McLaurin for Antonio Gibson. Whatever. Carson Wentz is probably going to come back. He sucks, so they're going to be running the ball. I traded Miles Sanders for Zeke Elliott and Elijah Mitchell, and I traded Christian Kirk for Mike Evans. I got a whole brand new team, and I still got Debo Samuel and Jamar Chase coming back. Come on, bro. I might make a comeback in this league. As long as Dobbins comes back, Tony steps up. Who knows?
God bless you.
Who knows?
Shout out Matt Saturday for getting his first dub as a Colts.
Jeff Saturday.
Jeff Saturday, sorry.
Yep.
Jeff Saturday got a dub on Sunday. Let's go.
After he tweeted Raiders are terrible a few days before that.
And also, he got a lot of criticism. So, I was on the sign. Maybe we'll go in a little depth about that criticism because I get that. But also, hey, he got a dub when he was the underdog. So, shout out him. Let's see. The Eagles finally defeated. They got some injuries. Goddard is out. He's going to miss extended time. That changes it all. Hey, Giants, baby. Just like my boy Vito was talking all that shit. We were hanging out on Sunday. You were there. He mentioned Tua, first place, over and over again. So the Giants now, 7-2. We have the Lions next week. We could go 0-2 if the Eagles lose next week. Tie for first place. You guys are in first place now. So that's a big deal, dude.
Yeah.
Things can turn around.
Tough division going into a bye, and we got Houston off that after a bye, so we should be all right.
Focus. Any given Sunday, but because things upsets happen all the time. But you got to focus. You got to stay in the moment. That's it for football. Rodgers got into it. Yeah, Rodgers got. I seen that highlight. Rodgers was hot and heavy about the 4th and 1. He wanted to go for it. Respect. I love the fight in him. NBA. A lot of players now are coming out for Kyrie Irving in support of him because obviously in the beginning they weren't supporting him because he said some wild shit, which I get. But now that it's been 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, like we talked about, the consequence doesn't serve the action. He already apologized. He donated or he tried to donate. All the things that we won't recap. It's kind of gotten out of hand, and now the NBA PA, which is the union of the NBA, which they got to stand with their players, is now coming out and respectfully. Now, it went from killing Kyrie for what he did or whatever side you stand on to now people are becoming almost behind him. What do you feel about that?
Yeah. I feel like it's just so stupid. We talked about it last week how, as a I'm just gonna dumb it down. Like if you're a manager of somewhere, doesn't matter where it is, you can't ask your reps or your employees more of them than what you do yourself. You can't hold them to a higher standard. You gotta lead by example. Or that's just how I was trained and that's just how I understand the game and I do things how I carry myself when I was a manager of Verizon locations throughout the years. Like, I'm not going to tell my reps to do something that I'm not going to do myself. Like, I'm not going to make them do something and be like, oh, this is the way you have to do it. Like, if you do it, cool, do it the right way and do it how it's supposed to be done. Don't do something the way I want it. I want you to do it just because you want Kyrie Irving to do something the way that you want him to do it just to please other people and please the media and please the masses and fucking please society. No, fuck that.
Like
he tried to do it and that's it. Like, and you're the owner, by the way, is funding a genocide in China. So like, come on, dog.
Like we said last episode, I'm not even going to comment on that, and I'm not saying you're wrong. But it's a little far. It's a little too much. They gave him an ultimatum, like we talked about last episode, and I believe in. You got to think of long term as an organization. Somebody fucked up. Somebody did bad. Let's just call it that, right? And then, as an organization, as a corporation, as whatever, you're now burying this human. Do you know you still got to sell tickets? Do you know you still got to sign free agents over the next 5, 10, 15, however long you own the team? You got to think about that too as a business. I understand choosing moral over business, but when that morality is being way too far-fetched, you need to call it. And I don't think Josiah is having enough people in his corner to be like, all right, this is too much. Let's dial it back a little bit. We don't have to go this far. I think the Brooklyn Nets went way too far in the beginning just to make a point. But now it's like to the point where you're abusing your child, you're abusing your employee, and now you did the exact opposite of what you should have done. So that's NBA. Anything else? Let's get into either shout outs or quick news or anything like that. I have a few or a couple. You could go first, brother. Nope, he's not ready. So I'll go first. First of all, shout out Phil Rappo at my wedding. Was a groomsman. Works for the New York City sanitation department. Hooked me up with this hat, trucker. Boom. This is my first trucker hat, actually. And hooked me up with a customized. Oh, it has my name. Maybe not. Hooked me up with a customized hoodie. Hooked it up for Bree as well. Appreciate all the gifts. Appreciate all the interactions, everything that everybody did. Wedding was great, like I said, but I want to give a special shout out to him. Anything you got, brother?
I mean, besides like shout out to your family, man. Like it was awesome. You know, just like I said already, meeting your dad, meeting your mom, like brother, all that kind of shit. Like just it was all love. Like the wedding was just all love, and I mean, I didn't really know what I was gonna walk into, or I'm trying to get something here. I didn't know what I was gonna get myself into, or what to expect, or whatnot. But I'm glad I went. I appreciate y'all. I'm about to trying to pull something up so I can share it.
God, take your time, brother. They're on our time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. And we did have an efficient episode, and you know that was pretty good. It should be popping up soon. There it is. I don't know if it's gonna play with sound. It should play with sound. I don't see why not. If it doesn't, it's okay. Quick little preview.
I didn't see this. This new exclusive shit. You took him down? You took him down? There you go.
Rear
You got the
naked.
legs. Did he choke? Oh, he tapped. He tapped immediately. Nice. See, he knows how to tap. See, that's my nephew. That's my guy. Dude, he knew he tapped right away. He didn't even let you get the legs over. He tapped immediately. He knew this is not my battle to win.
Yeah, he knew what time it was. I had the body triangle and the rear naked. Picked that shit up from Charles Oliveira. So them jiu-jitsu classes
That's
been paying
awesome.
off.
Nah, bro, that makes me feel great, and that's what this weekend was all about. Any topics that we didn't get to throughout this episode, we'll get to next episode. We wanted to keep this under an hour. Obviously, we're producing this episode on Wednesday morning. We want to put it out because we're gonna put out another episode on Tuesday morning of next week. So hopefully, you guys appreciated it. I'm trying to look
The
through
big
my notes real quick.
5-0, 5-0, the big 5-0 episode
5-0. Maybe we'll do fucking 2 hours on that episode. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Fucking
Fuck it.
cares, bro. We can do whatever we want.
That's true too. I didn't think about that. We can do whatever we want, huh?
Yeah,
Fuck.
we got no one to appease. We got no one to make sure that what we're doing is the right way, or how they want it to do, how they want it to be. Shout out BR, Billionaires Row.
Shout out BR. Of course, we're gonna do a couple posts. We might do an intro about it because I think I have an intro idea real quick that we'll talk about it in the beginning of this episode. But hey,
Absolutely.
Let's wrap this up. Shout outs, anything we didn't get to this episode, we'll get to next episode. So tune in. But all I have to say is appreciate the little things and appreciate the people that are in your life that do the little things, because that's most important.
Hundo P. No cap.
Elvis Escobar.
One.
Fort Samba. 49. See you in 50. Enter the lab. Exit the lab. Peace. One.